Right, so if you've seen my other videos, I have this where it connects two 120 volt outlets to create a 1450, but actually it's a 1450, but it's actually maxed out at 15 amps because my breaker is 20 amps. So 220 amps, you only charge at 80%, so 215, well, technically 16 amps. But I do 15 amps just to be safe. Alright, I added this new one. So this is my Tesla charger actually. And it's right there. And let me show you how it connects inside. I'm not going to show you where the giant wire goes because it's messy in there. Maybe I'll show a little bit. But yeah, let me show you the setup, how I have it plugged in to my house. Alright, I'll be back. Okay, so this is one of the plugs for the 120 volt that combines with the other inside the garage to make a 240 volt, again 15 amps. And here's how I set up the dryer thing. So I have multiple of these adapters. So this one uses I think it's a NEMA 1030, okay? So we have that NEMA 1030, which converts to a NEMA 650. And the reason I did that was because I already had this NEMA 650 to 1450. And the reason I had that was because at my parents' house, they have a NEMA 650 welder port socket. So yeah, so this one, of course, is only a 30 amp. So that's why it's much thinner. This is 50 amp, that's why it's much thicker. Then what we have is we have this special box here, which it knows if the dryer goes on, it will actually turn off the, it'll turn off the power to the charger. And then when the dryer is done, it'll turn the power back on to the dryer. So this is a 1450. And this adapter is for the dryer. So this is a NEMA 1030. So this is a NEMA 1030 to 1450. And then we have this giant long extension cable here. It's a 30 foot extension cable. My garage is 20 feet long-ish. And then I have it like going along, like running, going around. So 30 feet was actually almost perfect. If it was like 31 or 32 feet, it would have been better. But this is what I have. 30 feet, the other 120 volts going down here, okay? And what I had to do, because we have this door here, I actually had to mutilate my door. And here you can see, I cut this thing out here. And I also added this plastic to protect the cables here, even though this cable is small enough that it doesn't get hit by the door. This one I wanted it because this is like rubbery, so I wanted this slippery plastic so if it does hit the door, then we don't have any problem with that. Because yeah, it'll just slide over this plastic. It can't really cut through there. All right, let me see if I can show you where the cable is going without showing too much mess. All right, I'll be back. Okay, so here you can see it goes out from under the door and then it runs along down here between these shelves behind, right? And then I'll go around and show you more. Okay, so there's the other side of those shelves. You can see the cable goes here. It runs along the side here, down along all this stuff, okay? And then it runs all the way down there, runs all the way down there, and it goes to the edge of the garage there. And yeah, I had it run through. It's not actually going out the other side of the garage, so it's actually inside the garage, the plug area, so that way someone can't just unplug my stuff and run away with it. And then the Tesla charger is also inside the garage. So yeah, so we have the whole plug Tesla charger bit inside the garage, and the only part that's outside is the cabling that can't be disconnected. All right, and that's pretty much my setup, how I brought that over. And because it's a 30 amp thing, I only charge at 24 amps max, but that's better than the 15 amps I had with the other setup, and that's plenty good for me. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye. Oh, there is one other thing I forgot to mention with this setup. So because the 1030, it has like the X, Y, and W or something, and then it goes to the the 650. Because of that, the 650 is missing the W, and it has a ground, but there's no ground from the 1030. So basically you're just getting the X and Y, like the left and right pins. And then basically the 650, you only get the left and right pins. And then the 650 goes over to the 14, what is that? The 1450. So basically the 1450, you also only get the outer pins. So you're missing the W and you're missing the ground. So keep that in mind that this setup actually doesn't have a ground to it, and it doesn't have the W, which I believe allows it to have a 120 volt connection. So depending on your device, if you need that 120 volt, you want to be careful. My dryer, because it's a 1030, it doesn't use the ground and it doesn't need the 12 or the 120 volt. It just uses the 240 volt, so it works perfectly fine. But again, you want to be careful, because if you're using this setup for like an RV or something else that needs that 120 volts or needs the ground, then you're not going to have the ground and you're going to have problems. I'm surprised, because I thought the Tesla would not have worked without the ground, but I tested it. It worked well. Most of the stuff I can return on Amazon, so I was checking to make sure everything worked okay. I'm actually going to feel the wire here because it's charging at 24 amps right now, and actually it's not even warm, so we should be good. I'm going to see what happens when I turn on the dryer, because I haven't tried that yet. So I'm going to turn it on, and I'm going to see what happens if I put the highest temperature here. Oh, I can't. I have to change it to something else. So I'm going to change it to speed dry. We're going to put on high, and let's just try and start it and see what happens. So here you can see this light turned green, and that's for the dryer. So that means my Tesla should probably have stopped charging. So let me open that and make sure. And here you can see it's actually still charging. That's not good. Okay, so that's not good, because then this is probably going to get warm. Well, I don't know how hot or when it starts the heating process. This isn't hot right now. And I think because I'm charging at 24 amps, it's not reaching the max. So I don't know. Let me see what happens if I set it to 32. It's still going. So I might have to check the QR code on the back of this box and change it, because it looks like it's just running at, and this isn't even hot. What about these small wires? Yeah, that's getting kind of warm. So I'm gonna stop this, and I'm gonna stop this. I don't want to risk a fire, so I'm gonna set this to 24, and I shut that off. So yeah, it's not gonna know. I'm gonna have to see if I can go on the app using the QR code here and see if I can set this up, and we'll see if I can fix that issue. All right, anyways, I'll figure it out. Actually, did it just stop? It finally randomly stopped after I stopped the dryer, which is weird. Okay, what is it doing right now? And it's charging, so I don't know why it stopped. I don't think I pushed the stop button. Maybe I did on accident when I was pushing that. But anyways, I'm going to see if I can figure out the app and set that up, and we'll see what happens. All right, I'll see you guys in a bit, or if it doesn't do anything, then that's the end of the video. All right, I'll probably see you guys in a bit. Alright, so there isn't really an app for that thing. It just detects if the combined usage is 40 amps or higher. So if it's 40 amps, it'll continue running just fine on both things. But because the dryer and the other thing is probably below 40 amps, it's not going to shut itself off in my situation. So I actually have to just be careful and make sure I'm not running both at the same time. Okay, otherwise the circuit will probably overload, and maybe the circuit breaker will shut off, but the wires will get warm, so I don't trust that. I don't want to mess around with that. I'm just going to make sure I don't have them both on at the same time. All right, that's it. See you all in the next one. Bye.